It's Bobby at the Renaissance Game Supply. So it's been a little bit since I posted my last video. I've been working kind of behind the scenes here. As you can see, the stacks are getting a little higher. You get out of the frame there. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Just working on behind the scenes stuff. Nothing really glamorous, nothing really worth showing. I've gotten the boxes thinned out quite a bit. Got some stuff cleaned up. You can't really kind of see it here, it's kind of off screen, but I've probably ripped through about 20 boxes out here. And right now I've just got this little stack left back here. Trying to get this done before the weekend. Sorry, trash. Before the weekend gets here, that way I can start Thursday night and just steadily upload. That's the goal. Steadily upload all the sets that I have started to sort alphabetically. So once I get there, that should be a significant upload over the weekend. I'm hoping for at least 30,000, 35. We'll see. I'm probably 20,000 cards deep over there at the moment. That stack I've started over there, I sit next to that PC. So if I can put together another 15, 20,000, that's gonna be great. Not always easy to do. So I wanna show you what I'm working on this morning here. And just by the coloration, like I've showed you before, these are gonna be hard to see, but you can see how much darker this row is up to right about here. So that there all tells me, A, it's never been played, B, it's newer, or C, it's both and it's of one set. So what do we got? We got all one set, all Theros Beyond Death, which is great because I already have a bunch of this and I already have it organized over there. So all I'm gonna do at this point is set it in a stack to sort alphabetically. And that's why I kind of like doing this. This is a very quick way to get a lot of cards up. It's just to find the big chunk of the same stuff. I mean, it helps me sort through these boxes very quickly when I do find them. And occasionally I'll find another set in here like this. Some Throne of Eldraine in here. So I just take that small chunk out. No big deal. Set it aside over here with the rest. The rest of that is Theros Beyond Death. And that's how I roll through these boxes. So this morning I got up early so I could specifically work on going through stuff. Now I've got another one on the floor over here which you can't see, so I'm gonna pick it up. And this one is already tabbed out. And what I mean by that is, you can see all these little blue tabs here. Chances are, when I see them tabbed, somebody already organized them. There's a few cards splashed in there that belong to some different sets, and that's okay. So like, this is what I mean. This has already been organized. I mean, it's already, for the most part, the same art. I'll have to go through and just kind of fine tune it as I upload it. No big deal. So that's the shit that I'm looking for. And then it's got some small stuff in here too where looks like they just kind of crammed in some older stuff that was played. And what I mean by that is, again, you gotta look at the borders here. You can kind of see the discoloration. It's not the greatest way to look at it, but this here allows me to just kind of grab stuff. And if it's not the same set, I just set it aside and I'll deal with this later. Yeah, this is kind of a good mix of stuff. Nothing worth, you know, putting on film today, except for maybe this stuff. This stuff here, different story. That's all. I believe that's Return to Ravnica. I don't even remember. I do too many sets to try to remember them all anymore. But Oh, there's a good chunk of older stuff. So the older stuff I do set aside still. So yeah, this chunk here, I get to put in this box. So part of me doing this is I'm trying to loosen up some of these 5,000 count boxes. So when I organize sets over the weekend, and if it's a newer set that I haven't organized previously, I can just put set symbols on it, organize right into that box, and it allows my inventory to A, explode, and B, be organized as I'm doing this, because that's the name of the game. You don't want to be doing this and then have to organize it again later down the road. You want to organize right into inventory immediately. So I'm going to put this back because I am absolutely thrilled with the fact that this is all the same set. Oh, not the same set. It was up until that moment. But we got a huge chunk of Theros in here. Journey into Nyx. Got a big old fat chunk of that. So that's gonna be nice to set aside. Then the Theros I just had this morning here, what did I do with it? Oh, there it is. But for the most part, the rest of this is all either Gate Crash or Return to Ravnica. I can't remember which set that is. I've just been doing it too much. It's probably Gate Crash, to be honest with you. But again, big chunk of it. Almost probably 7,000, 7,200 cards. One less box to really dig through because it's mostly organized. Saves me a shit ton of time. So now I've only got kind of 2 stacks left. And this one here is tabbed as well, but the borders are not as white or as dark as I was expecting, so I don't know if this is mixed, and I don't know if this is all the same set. So I'll take a look. All right, Khans of Tarkir in this one. So this is good because I had very few of Khans of Tarkir, which is kind of a little ironic considering my store I had, my physical store I had in Dallas at the time when I had a store, was really, well, damn, sorry, was really right about the same time this set kind of hit the market. I was in my first year of business, didn't really understand the magic world, and here I am 10 years later and I don't think I still really understand the magic world. I don't know if anybody really does, but anyway, I'm still doing it. I enjoy it, and I probably have more Khans of Tarkir now than I did when the shit was in standard and being cracked open every week. So anyway, this is all Khans. Once again, 7,200 to 7,500 cards, all organized already. I will alphabetize that in those black little plastic sorters and quickly upload those cards. And that'll be good because Khans of Tarkir sells pretty well. Still, I mean, I know some of you out there probably don't believe this, but bulk commons and commons sell pretty well still from older sets. It's not just the new shit that sells. And I've been saying this for years. Years and years. The new shit sells, but so does the old stuff. That's why you have to have a good mix of all of it. And now this over here, it's kind of a little screwed up here. I don't spend too much time trying to fix all this, but if I can fix 3 or 4 or 1 here and there, I will. It just makes it a lot easier on my robot. And there you go. There's a big old fat old chunk of it here, right? Come on now. That one's bent, so I'll get rid of that. That's a new card. I can just replace it with another collection. Anyway, fat chunk. The rest of it, not so much, it's kind of mixed. So I'll put this in the mixed bag over here, or mixed box. And it allows me to continue working here. So, what I want to show you again is the edges. You really got to kind of pay attention to the edges. I mean, look how dark and crisp, and you can kind of see the roller line all the way down. Chances are that's all the same set. Probably a couple hundred, maybe 300 cards in there. Hopefully it's all orientated properly. Yep, appears to be. Theros Beyond Death. And Theros Beyond Death does pretty well too. A lot of times I think it's the mirror shield, some of the lands out of it. I don't know, there's a few other Sentinel Eyes, and I think a few other notable little singles that does probably better than the rest. For some reason, they're a popular, I don't know if I'd call it a staple, but they're just a popular card to kind of play with, and they just sell. They move. As soon as I get them, they move. So I like product like that, and as I've said before in previous videos, I don't care if it's a $100 card, I don't care if it's a penny card. If it moves quick, I want it. And the fast sales are nice. Oh, damn. This is probably what I should do. I might save this as the card art for the video. I just found some pretty rare stuff here. Super rare. And by super rare, I'm completely joking. Here we go, look at this. I just found €3. Yeah, look at those. Gotta love that. So I'm gonna take a picture of that and use that as the art for the video. There you go. I kind of like that when I find stuff like that on occasion. Kind of like that Damn Boy She Thick video. When I found that artwork, I knew instantly that was the artwork for the video. But I found some funny shit in this collection over the past few months. And I don't know. We get some fun players out there, I'll tell you that. But pretty much, oh, here's another one that sells fairly commonly. Alseid of Life's Bounty. So I got another pair of those. Daxos does pretty well too. As far as selling, I mean, I don't care about the money. What I care about is moving cardboard. So I got a couple more of those, and those will move. Pretty decent little card if you're running small creatures and stuff that likes to buff and whatnot. Oh, damn, there we go. Oh, here we go. There's some random commander stuff, which I always pull the commander stuff. I don't know, for some reason, commander version of cards tend to move pretty quick for me. And when I say quick, I mean like, so one of the last videos I did was 16,750 card upload. And so to me, when a card moves quick, it's part of an upload like that that drives sales and helps capture somebody's interest in buying from me. So it allows me to cast a net, so to speak, a wide net, because as many different cards as I can carry from as many different sets or as many different printings as I can carry helps me capture somebody who's interested in buying from one buyer or one seller. So that's what I mean by that. And again, this is all the same set, thick chunk. You barely even have to look. That's not going to happen in every collection, because most collections you're going to get, it's going to be pretty jumbled. And this is fairly jumbled, don't get me wrong. I still have a lot of work ahead of me. But for the most part, when I can find 25, 50 to 100 to 300, sometimes 500, 600 cards, or even 7,500 cards in the same box and it's the same set, I love that, because that shaves off hours and hours of sitting there sorting shit. And that right there is my secret behind uploading as much inventory as I can, is because my stuff that I buy is mostly, and I say that loosely, but mostly organized already. And that's why I like to buy from retailers. I really like to buy from retailers. Plus it helps the retailer out too. Your local LGS, as we would call it. But yeah, these cards are all jumbled. I'll save these for later. That's the other thing too. A lot of these cards, they come in with sleeves already. They come with, you know, your perfect fits, and then they come with the actual dragon shields or KMCs or magic card shields or whatever's out there that people are buying for sleeves anymore. So a lot of times I have to take them out of the sleeves as well as I'm doing this. No big deal. It just slows me down a little bit, not much. But I want to kind of show you this here too. And this is kind of important, and I might do a video on this later. And what I mean by that is these old school lands, you might not feel like they're worth a damn, but like the polluted mires, smoldering craters, blasted landscapes, slippery cars, remote isles, yeah, these have been reprinted into the ground, but these older ones still hold player collectability, and they're still very playable. And like these old basics, not the white border shit, but this stuff, it still sells. I'll get entire orders that are just nothing but lands, and it's this old school stuff. Or you get the snow lands and the snow permanents, people are buying that still. And the other thing with these older lands, with these revised stuff, people still buy the revised stuff too. They still buy it, still to this day. And I try to condition these very accurately, but I'm always looking for the arrow symbol instead of the tap symbol. White border and arrow, because that's your unlimited, and that's what I'm after. So I always tend to look at every single one of these, because I want to know. I want to know if there's unlimiteds in here, which I found some. I mean, I've done videos on finding unlimiteds and whatnot in these collections, but that's not what today's video is about. This is kind of more or less just a general talk about some of the stuff you can kind of find in here, and kind of how to organize quickly, how to get prepared to be ready to upload quickly. That's just my way of doing it. I'm sure there's some people out there who have better ways of doing it, but this is what works really well for me. I just get up early some mornings, I'm killing some time, can't sleep or whatever. I just get up and just put myself to work. I gotta be up early anyway for my job, so I don't mind getting up early and just kind of working for myself out in the garage before I go off and do that. And like, here's a little chunk of stuff. Not really a whole lot to really separate out, but then the rest of this is all kind of a good mix of New Phyrexia, Zendikar, Scars of Mirrodin. So that kind of sort of stuff I'll just set aside as well. But then the rest of this is all New Phyrexia. That's a good chunk of New Phyrexia. And I'll usually put all those sets together later. But here's more lands. And sorry they're upside down, I just want to show you the set symbols. So typically I'll separate those, but these boxes down here, they're getting a little full. So I might just move that one and make some room here. I try to separate the old school stuff from the new school stuff, just because it makes, I like organizing all my stuff based on the era of the card release. Older stuff sells pretty good for me. Newer stuff sells quicker. But sometimes people will buy both era of cards because they're building decks, or maybe they're building multiple decks. So I try not to favor one era over the other. If I'm working heavily on one era one week, I try to compensate for the next era the following week. And what I mean by that is, if I do all the vintage stuff one week, I'll do some standard, I'll do some modern stuff, the following week, and just kind of keep it a mix. So that way I'm not heavy on one era and my sales take a nosedive because, nobody wants old school this week. Maybe it's out of season. Maybe nobody wants standard stuff because they're bored with it. Who knows? But that's how I do it. I like to mix it. It seems to do fairly well for me in the sense that my sales don't stagnate. So maybe that's just my little educated guess. I don't know what you want to call it, but that's how I do it. Just a kind of a mix of everything. That way, if players are looking for old school cards, I got them. They don't have to wait till I upload them. I'm just sorting some stuff out here real quick. I'll show you what I'm doing with this. And this is the type of era that sells really well for basic lands too. The white border stuff, not so much. I mean, it moves, don't get me wrong. It's just not as popular as the black border. So that's why I do my white border shit almost dead last. But here you go. So all these forests, this beautiful artwork. These do really, really well, especially from Tempest, Urza Saga, Invasion. These are all really cool, really nice condition. I mean, here we go. I'm gonna show you the sides, and that's what I mean by nice condition. I mean, look, those edges are pretty good. You got like probably a little wear there, but for the most part, here's the back of the card. And here's the front of the card. These are lightly played condition cards. And these are cards that were printed in 1997. And they're sitting around in a box. And these are lightly played. So that's pretty good value right there. I love that. That means they're not all beat to shit, but people still buy the damaged stuff. So, and kudos to them, because I'll list every condition of card. I don't care. But yeah, this whole box, it looks like the rest of it is a good mix with some old school stuff in it. So I'll go through this one kind of off camera. Let's see what else we got. We got a huge chunk of different sets here. This is not worth organizing by hand. The robot does really well with this. This is the type of stuff I'd load into the robot and then go to work. Come home and it's organized. Now I'll reload the robot and do it again. But this box here is just about cleaned out. Look at this. Here's some more Commander stuff. This is what I like. Is it valuable? Don't know. I don't know every card. I don't know anybody who does. But these are your Commander anthologies. This is your Commander, I believe, this is the Commander, not Commander 2013. So I guess that'd be what, Commander 2011? The copyright date on that? So again, not valuable cards. Not cards that are probably gonna sell out overnight. But they're still from a set that will move. Eventually, somebody's gonna want them. Oh, and here's some more. I just spotted some more Commander. And chances are those are probably cards that people just ripped out of their decks they didn't want. And this particular store probably just threw them in bulk. They didn't really care, and that's fine. I don't really care either. I just notice the symbol, and I pull it. I mean, I don't know, Commander stuff, I'll sometimes sit there and organize just Commander deck stuff and get that uploaded as well. So there you go, there's more Commander stuff, and I like getting that stuff from that set because I don't have a lot for each of the individual Commander decks or the set commanders. So when I organize my cards, I actually organize every Commander set in its own box, and it makes it a lot easier to sort, makes it a lot easier to find, and then I will alphabetize those as well. I don't know, I think it's just a cleaner way to look for cards. It's cleaner to pull if you have a reimbursement order. And as I've explained in previous videos, I organize all my cards as if I was part of the direct program. So when I go to pull a card, it matches the same order in which my invoice is printed. Makes it super efficient, and I'm not sitting there looking for cards all day long. And here eventually I'll have all this stuff moved into the office anyway. There's a good chunk of Theros again. So I'll pull that since I was kind of working on that set. Boy, these stacks are getting tall. Oh, there's some more Theros. And the reason why, oh, there's your Sentinel Eyes that I was talking about earlier. Boom. So that card will move quick. They always do. But the reason why I'll organize cards like this, it's so that, hold on here, ooh, I almost fell. It's just so I can get through my boxes quickly. Gives me a quick personal look at every box. I can look for kind of immediate value or kind of a collective value, so to speak. And just overall, it kind of gives me the chance to do a once over on the collection. And what I mean by a once over is I can just pull stuff. Because I've done this for so long, I could do it in my sleep. I can just pull stuff, I can recognize stuff a lot quicker than those card sorters can. I can organize faster than both those machines working simultaneously. Because it would take 3.5 hours to organize 1,000 cards each. Well, I can do that in a matter of no time. I can probably do that in an hour. But what I can't do is the pricing data at the same time. So that's where you need a sorter if you're gonna do this. And it doesn't matter what sorter you get, what brand, it's still gonna be better than anything you can do manually. And anybody that tells you differently is wrong. Probably because they don't own a sorter. So they wouldn't have that insight. And I'm telling you right now, as somebody who has a sorter and I have the insight, I'm telling you that you're not gonna be able to sort and price cards as quickly as a sorter does. Now, there is one thing I would like to have, and that's a sorter that just sorts alphabetically by set. And it doesn't price, it just quickly sorts. That to me is worth more money than the one that does the pricing data or the one that sorts by pricing data. I can tell you right now, for what I do and the amount of volume that I upload, I don't give two shits that it does pricing data. I think it's cool, but I don't think it's necessary for what I do. Now, I just found a cool card. I don't know if it's valuable. It's probably one of those where people crack packs and they just skim real quick, oh, bulk rare, and they throw it in a box. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the card, and I recognized it by the red symbol, and it's coming up, Cavalier of Thorns. Just found it. So again, don't know if it's valuable, but I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna check that bitch up here in a minute, and we're gonna find out. Some of you out there probably already know, oh yeah, that's immediate value. So I don't know that, but I will look it up. But that's why I do this once over. This is what I'm talking about when I say I'm doing a once over in the collection. I just kind of skim through shit, and again, I miss stuff all the time, don't get me wrong. I miss $5 cards, $10 cards, $1 cards, doesn't matter. I miss it because I'm skimming. I'm not thoroughly looking at a million cards and taking, a year to upload shit. I'll just skim through, look for stuff like that. Look for foil stuff. Look for stuff from the list. Secret layers, drop series, that kind of sort of stuff. And as I'm doing it, I just kind of do my basic little sort and separate. But at the same time, gives me a very quick glance at shit. And I don't know. This technique, I didn't learn this overnight. I mean, this technique is just something I've just gradually have kind of evolved into something that's way more efficient than anything I've ever seen anybody try to show online. And it's just my own personal technique that works for me and for what I do and how I upload and how I approach inventory uploads and upload weekends. Because my goal is, if I can't upload 10 to 15, 20,000 cards in a weekend, I mean, I'm gonna try and find a faster way, right? I mean, who wants to sit out here for weekend upon weekend organizing cards the slow way? I don't want to do that. So I will look for the most efficient, effective, fastest way. And I want to show you something else. All right, so I'm gonna put this is the chunk I want to show you. This is the chunk I'm putting away. Now watch this. And if you've made it this far in the video, congratulations. I'm sorry if I just ramble sometimes, but I just kind of showing you things that are going through my head as I go through a collection like this. These are all Commander cards so far. Again, nothing super valuable, right? Chroma's Vengeance. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. Dust Mantle's here, but these are cool little rares to pull. Sarah's Avatar. I sold a 2014 Commander version last night, so it's good to have that back. So there you go. Some bulk rares, some bulk commons, and some bulk uncommons, most likely. From 2018 Commander. Is it valuable? Probably not. Do I care? No. I don't care because it's going to sell. And look, here's more Commander from 2018. And again, these are your bulk commons and uncommons probably, and your bulk rares. But it doesn't matter. Look at how thick this chunk of cards is getting. And it's all Commander. So somebody ripped apart a deck and took out, the bulk they didn't want, the lands they didn't want to use. And I got the rest. So that makes me pretty happy. Here's a bunch of Ultimate Masters. So I'll set that to the side. I do have that already split out. I want to show you again. Here's an M19. I'm going to get it out of the way. And I just found some more, looks like Commander 2018 stuff. And these lands do really, really well. Crib Swap. Mortify, I love the artwork on that one. But yeah, here's another Commander 18. The Commander stuff does well for me. It does well, really, really well. That's why I love seeing it. Every time I pull it, my wife likes to pull that stuff and put it away. She always tells me all the time that because she's the one that pulls the orders and puts the packs together or the packages together and sends a little private message to each person and all that kind of stuff and provides the support and everything. And she's really the kind of the brains behind the marketing and all that kind of sort of stuff and the customer service piece of this, and she does really well with that. She likes it, loves it, but She's the one who kind of reports back to me as to what's selling, because she'll be like, babe, do we have this? Do you have any more of that? This is really selling this week. And what I'll do is I'll just take that advice, take that inquiry that she has, take that question, and come out here and dig through the back stock of the sets. And we'll both just scan through that real quick and pull the stuff that's selling, upload it real quick, and clear it out. And next week, new deck ideas come out, new decks win, whatever, new card list gets published, and newer stuff starts moving, and then we'll follow that trend. But for the most part, I try to upload ahead of that, but you can't always predict what's going to sell. Sorry, this is turning into a long video, but I just want to kind of show you. So there's more Commander stuff. This is what I do. So this is probably the best video I've made in the sense of how I approach and kind of organize and sort and pick and pull and figure out what I'm going to list. I'm sorry if it seems kind of jumping around and kind of chaotic to some of you, because you might have a better approach. Maybe you don't. But this is just what works for me, so I don't mind sharing it. Maybe it'll work for you too. And this one here is Commander Masters 2. So again, not valuable, but just to show you how mixed some of this stuff can be and what I do with it. So this here was Ravnica Allegiance. Starting to get quite a stack there. So what I've got here left is mostly a good mix of stuff here. Looks like some Allegiance, some M19 in here, some Masters. So if I can get this thinned out, it's gonna free up another 5,000 count box for me, which is what I really want. I want about 10 of these boxes free before the weekend gets here, because 10 of these boxes represent 75,000 cards I can go and work through and upload into my empty boxes, and I didn't spend a dime on boxes. I just got smart about how I'm using the boxes I already have, that I've already paid for. Now, for those of you who are fortunate enough to run to an LGS and pick up card boxes and supplies and stuff, these boxes used to be $4.50 to $5 a piece. And then just over the last few years, I've watched the price creep up to about $8. And out online, I don't know, eBay, Amazon, there's probably like 12,000 other places to buy stuff, but I only deal with a few channels at a time, a few markets at a time. Way too busy to find the cheapest, fastest. I don't care. Anyway, I've been finding these boxes around $10 now. So now they're twice the price of what they were a few years ago. So for me, and the amount that I have to buy, think about it, every 10 boxes, $100 for a fucking cardboard box. I'm not spending $100 on cardboard boxes, if I don't have to. So that's why I'll spend $50 on a table, and I can hold 25, 30,000 cards on a table for $50. And then I can reuse the table when I'm done. The cardboard box, I mean, it's a box. When I'm done with it, it's still a box. What am I gonna do with it? Fill it full of cards is about all I can do with it. But I don't want to spend $10 on it. So last month, September 1st, first of the weekend after September 1st, so about 5 weeks ago, I went to Flagstaff and picked up this 625,000 cards, 90 of these 5,000 count boxes. So if you think about it, I put $200 cash down on it, traded $4,300 worth of cards in, so it was a $4,500 pickup. Well, $900 of that was cardboard. The way I look at it, it's cardboard. I got $900 of free cardboard storage. So to me, realistically, that collection now only cost me about $3,600 or trade-in value for something that's probably worth $60,000, somewhere between $50,000 to $60,000 in actual marketable sales. Yeah, you gotta work your ass off to get your money out of it, but I feel like in the next month or so, I will be at my break-even point for sales. Earlier when I was discussing the 16,750 card upload that I did on one weekend, and I made a video about it. Basically, that was me just kind of telling you and showing you that you can upload that much in a weekend, and I haven't uploaded a single card since, and I'll show you a number maybe Thursday, maybe Friday when I do another video. And I purposely have chosen not to upload a card because I want to show you how many cards have moved since that weekend, and I'm still well up over 300,000 cards in inventory. And I'll show you what my sales number was. I'll be transparent. I'll show you what the sales number was for that time period, and I'll show you how many cards sold, and then I'll start uploading again this weekend, because I did want to take a break from that purposely, because I wanted to kind of show you how once you get your numbers up, you can take breaks so you don't get burnt out, and you can go on vacations, you can kind of do stuff for yourself, you can start picking up hobbies, you can do all kinds of, do whatever, you know? And when you come back to it, your numbers aren't plummeted so much that your sales haven't carried you through. Yeah, you probably could have sold more, don't get me wrong, but that's not the point. The point is if you need to take a break from your store, not turn your store off, but just take a break from the grind of uploading, that you can afford to do so when you upload the way that I do, because it will carry you through. You got to get your numbers up. If your numbers are not up over 100,000 inventory, you're gonna notice a big dip in your sales. People will respond to that. Like if you haven't been uploading much, 100,000 cards, it might seem like that's a big number. And it is, don't get me wrong. If you're not there, it is a big number. But once you get to 100,000, then your brain starts thinking, well, 200,000, 250,000, 300,000, 500,000. Well, if I can get to 500,000, maybe you can get to 1,000,000. And that's kind of where you need to be. If you're in this business to create an income for yourself, and it's a side income up to a point. Now, it's a side income for me because I haven't met the number yet that I want to be at to be like, okay, I'm going to pull the plug on all the other stuff I do outside the house, and I'm going to focus on my business at home, and this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And my number for that is about probably $350 to $500 a day in sales. Am I there yet? No. I mean, there's days where I hit well over 100 a day, and then there's days where I hit 30. So the average is not quite where I want it yet. Now, why am I only getting $30 a day in sales sometimes? Well, it's, you know, the beginning of, or it's the end of a month, rent coming due for a lot of people across the country because it's almost the first of the new month. It's the middle of the week. So those are the typical days that are just slow. And that's fine, because those are good upload days. That's good content days. That's good cleanup days. That's good organization days. So you gotta kind of pace yourself a little bit when you're doing this. So I don't mind the $30 days some days. I really like the $100 days, and I've had $500 days. And I like those days too, but man, you don't get nothing else done. when you have those types of days. So that's why I'm saying to myself, a $350 to $500 average sale day every day, that's pretty good, because if you split that in half for my wife and I can pack orders very quickly, so can my wife, and I would just get up early and pack all day. Take a break, go eat lunch, come back, pack again. Not a big deal. I'm not there yet, and the reason why I'm not there yet is I don't have the inventory to support those kinds of sales every day. And I don't know of another retailer out there who has that much inventory up online, except for maybe your bigger stores like TCG Players, Star City Games, maybe Toad and Troll, or some other places, maybe eBay, but they don't list their own inventory. So eBay doesn't. So yeah, that's where I want to be. I want to be that store, that kind of self-employed kind of guy who's sitting around with $500,000, $1 million, $1.5 million, 2 million cards on TCG Player, just selling cards, hopefully trying to get to $350 to $500 a day in sales. Is that going to be 6 months from now? Probably not. Is it going to be a year from now? Could be, maybe for 1 million. I might have 1 million cards online in a year. It might take me 2 years to get to 2 million. It depends on my card sorters, how many I have, and what life throws your way, because you can only plan and project and set goals so far and so far ahead in life before life kind of bends you over the barrel and takes you camping, and you wake up and your ass is sore and you're like, what the hell happened? That kind of sort of thing. That's what life likes to do to you. So, but that's life. I mean, anyway, so that's why I do what I do. I do this in my spare time, moments I can't sleep. I enjoy this a lot, probably more than I should. It's not very glorifying, it's not very, but it's fun, it's cool. I feel like with how I'm doing it and what I'm doing it, I think I'm really creating something a little special here, because I don't know of anybody else who's doing this to the level that I'm doing this. And I'm doing this with the expectation and a goal of eventually having 10 to 25 million cards in stock of various card games manufacturers, mostly Magic, of course, but realistically, within 2 years from maybe this summer, or 2 years from today or whatnot, I would really like to have 2 million cards online. And the only way to get there is just to grind on it every day, work on it every day. It's not going to happen overnight, so I don't expect that. Am I going to get burnt out? Sure. Am I going to go a week or two where I don't do anything at all? Absolutely. I expect that. That's why I say 2 years from now, because that's the last thing I want to do, is be passionate about something and then, get pissed off at myself because, I burnt myself out on it. I'm disappointed. So the best thing to do is approach this with just a steady pace, so you don't burn yourself out, and you still enjoy it, and you're still making money at it, and it gives you a good supplemental side income for your home. And if you're getting up there in age like I am, I'm almost 50. I'll be 50 in a few years, less than a few years now. So yeah, I figure I got a good 10 years left in me. It's a good 15 years left in me maybe. So if I can get a good jump on this type of a business, a stay-at-home income, then 15, 10 years, 5 years from now, I'll be able to just kind of kick back and relax. I do have some stuff kind of going on in the background at home, outside of card stuff, outside of work-related shit. So I don't want to spoil that. I don't want to update with that just yet until some more of the details start falling into place here. But I think it's exciting. I don't know if it's going to come to fruition yet, but we're just starting down that road. So yeah. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it yet because it would be really nice to just create a content video based on the whole process and how I got there, when I got started, and where I'm at that point. But anyway, sorry to be so vague about it, but it's just literally something that just started like a week ago, and kind of excited about it. Really excited about it. Don't know if it's going to come to fruition and whatnot yet. So, like I said, just kind of sitting on it at the moment. And yeah, I'm hoping it comes true. And if it does, I'll show you why. I'd love to show you why. I don't know how long the process is going to take, because it's been a while since I've done something like this. But I just know it's a monumental task to make that happen. So anyway, I'm gonna sign off here. I think I've kind of talked a lot, sometimes repetitively, about this process and how I do things, why I do things, the way that I do things, and maybe those things are useful to you, maybe they're not. But yeah, still a lot of work to go, and I've been steadily working at it over the 5 weeks, so I'm hoping that if I continue the same pace, the same intensity, the same focus, that in the next 5 weeks I'll have the whole other back row of cards all organized as well, because I'll be damn near done with this one probably by the end of next week. All the stuff that was in front of these tables. So yeah, I mean, that was 625,000 cards sitting here, and I am almost halfway through organizing it and kind of skimming through it and getting it ready for the robots to sort. And as the robots are spending the next 6 weeks organizing stuff, I'll show some progress on that as well to show you. And I should have some more of these sets really built up. I mean, like probably 5,000 of most each set out here on the table. And hopefully I'll have some more stuff uploaded and get some more videos up, tell you my numbers of how much I'm uploading, where the store inventory total's at, and all that kind of sort of stuff. I got to build a card rack still, so I got a second one of those to go. I still got to finish building out the office, so I'll be doing a video in there soon, kind of showing you what's going on there, kind of moving some stuff around from there out to here to make room in there. But yeah, I mean, it's all happening. I'm doing it all by myself, with the exception of packing the orders and keeping track of that stuff. The wife's doing that, so it's a lot to undertake by yourself. So if you got a business partner and you guys are just starting out doing this sort of thing, or you got a couple friends that are interested in helping you, absolutely take advantage of that help. You'll be a lot further along than I am, I'll tell you that. But anyway, not too bad for a guy with 2 robots in a garage, just finding deals whenever he can. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching, and if you listen to this all the way to the end, I mean, congrats. I mean, it's probably a lot of useless information, maybe a little useful information sprinkled in there, but I do love the game. I do love selling, so hopefully you do too. Hopefully y'all have caught the bug as well. It's fun. All right, thanks for watching, and I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.